What's up, y'all? I'm Jordy, and welcome to the Grand Challenge 2026 in Regulation F. I have built a nasty team for this, so I hope you have a good time. I'm also going to be putting this out in multiple parts, since next week I'm going to be going to Toronto, and I'm not going to have much time to record stuff, so you're going to get a lot of these. I'll throw some other stuff in the mix that I've pre-recorded, but just letting you know. Alright, so here's the team. Mostly I wanted to do something with Moltres and Sinistcha, but I wasn't quite sure what. But then, Moltres-Sinistcha works pretty well with Arcanine, and Arcanine works pretty well with Flutter Mane, and the tech of Thunder Wave, Flutter Mane plus Rock Slide Arcanine has been picking up. So, I'm going full flinch team. We've got Moltres. Fiery Wrath has a 20% chance to flinch both opponents. We've got Arcanine. Rock Slide has a 30% chance to flinch both opponents. Flutter Mane can Thunder Wave. Raichu can Nuzzle. And I even brought out an evil tech on this Urshifu. Urshifu with King's Rock Surging Strikes has a 10% chance to flinch every time you hit. So close combat and Aqua Jet, 10%. Surging Strikes becomes like 27%, which is pretty similar to Rock Slide if you count accuracy. That's super evil, and people will scream if they see that happen. But hopefully we'll be spamming so many flinching moves that they don't get a chance. Raichu on here actually has some pretty interesting tech. Fake Out Encore is a combo I love from Raichu. You can threaten Fake Out so they have to protect, and then if they protect, now they're getting locked into protect with Encore. This gives Moltres a ton of time to set up nasty plots. And also if they have any electric types, such as Raging Bolt, which is extremely common in this meta, they can't do anything because we've got Lightning Rod to redirect those electric moves. And you try to Thunderclap, we redirect with Raichu, and then lock you into that? Good luck. We also have Knockoff as the last move on this Raichu. I was going between a lot of different moves on the last slot on this Raichu. Electro Web, Knockoff, Alluring Voice, Feint, Eerie Impulse, even some other weird tech. But I landed on Knockoff. I hope it's good. We're also Fairy Tera, so if we get in an endgame against Raging Bolt, we can knock off their leftovers and slowly chip them down while they cannot touch us because we're immune to Electric and Dragon. Sinistcha's here to heal up the Moltres. Moltres will go down to Berserk. Sitrus Berry will heal it back up. It'll go down to Berserk again. Sinistcha will heal it up. We just got a pretty normal set here with Rocky Helmet to punish any Urshifus. Our Arcanine is actually Clear Amulet instead of the standard Choice Band. I like the flexibility because then we can protect, get some paralyzes down, and then start flinching even more with Rock Slide. Everything else, pretty standard. We've got bulky Flutter Mane with Speed Booster, and we're just going to try to be evil. We're going to see how many flinches we can get, and so we're going to get on into this. Ooh, starting off with someone above 1550. Okay. Scizor is a cool tech. That makes Flutter Mane a little scary. Iron Hands for Farigiraf, Lando, Torn, Scizor, Water Pond. Alright, they've got Fake Out, they've got ways around my Fake Out. Best way to stop Trick Room would still be Flutter Mane Taunt, if they want to go a Trick Room route with Iron Hands for Farigiraf. They could go faster, but I like Flutter Mane. If I'm going to go with Flutter Mane, I'll want the Intimidate as soon as possible, I think. So it could be Flutter, Arcanine, Moltres. The thing is, Raichu's nice, but not good enough. Just being able to stop Iron Hands from clicking electric moves would be nice. But like, alright, we got the Intimidate, we got Flutter Mane. We're gonna bring Moltres and Sinistcha in the back. Urshifu. I like Urshifu for Landorus, but not really for anything else. And there's not really... I mean, Iron Hands is the only thing that forces out a Tera on Moltres. So we might just be able to handle Landorus with Moltres. Oh, that's a lovely trainer card. Alright. Ogerpon Tornadus. Alright, we get the Intimidate off, I like that. We can take some sort of speed control maybe. Yeah, they're gonna Tailwind. But we could Thunder Wave Ogerpon. Would I want to get out of here? Not really. I could Thunder Wave Protect. I do think it's pretty likely that they call my Arcanine to Tera, Swap, or Protect and just hit Flutter Mane. Going for damage, it looks like. But probably at Flutter Mane. Tailwind Ivy Cudgel, maybe? With the Intimidate, that should help as long as they don't crit. Yeah, Tailwind. Maybe they have Rain Dance as well for next turn. Yeah, Ivy Cudgel, Flutter Mane. Good call. Not too bad. And Thunder Wave. Miss! Lovely. Alright, I need to get the Thunder Wave. And I guess I need to go to Sinistra? My first Thunder Wave and it misses. Yeah, if I heal up with Sinistra, I should be able to take Ivy Cudgel. Not if they boost it with Rain, though. But it might... They might go after Arcanine now that I just protected. I'm gonna go for the Thunder Wave again and go into Sinistra. It'll get me some healing on Flutter. It'll get me Intimidate again for later. It'll keep Arcanine safe for 1 second. But if we take a Bleak Wind, that's gonna hurt, obviously. But then Sinistra can double back out into Arcanine. Cudgel takes out Flutter with a crit. No crit? High roll? Okay, here's Bleak Wind. Have fun. Sinistra's gone. Oh boy, what a start. Incredible. Well, I get another Intimidate, I guess. That's nice. We have no damage on the Ogerpon, no Thunder Wave on the Ogerpon. 2 turns of Tailwind. I need to set up Nasty Plot. I need to Tera, Arcanine, Rock Slide. Because I need to get Tornadus out of here before they can get Tailwind back up. If that even matters. I lost my speed control. They might just have faster Mons in the back. If they have Landorus, for example. Ogerpon swap, that's cool. So I wasted my Tera on Arcanine. But I was going to use it on, on this eventually, okay. This may even be calling a Protect on Arcanine. So it's like Ogerpon couldn't really have done anything. There's Rain Dance, that'll help them Sandsear, that'll help Ogerpon destroy anything it wants. There's some damage into Torn. Pretty good damage into Torn, honestly. So now I click Fiery Wrath, and I click Protect Arcanine, honestly. Fiery Wrath, let it take out both. They're not going to let me take Torn. That makes sense. They want their Tailwind back. They don't know how fast Arcanine is. Sludge Bomb into Moltres. Good call. Lando is down, but... Oh boy. We just protected Arcanine. Extreme Speed shouldn't be enough. Because, like, Stab Rock Slide is about 100, Spread is about 75, Super Effective is about 150. 150 power brings Tornadus down to there. 80 power from Extreme Speed, not going to do it. So they're going to get Tailwind. All I can do is click Fiery Wrath. Hope I live something and click Rock Slide. Yeah, this game's over. For sure. Missing that Thunder Wave was pretty big, but they also made a lot of good calls. This is probably into Moltres. Yeah. Makes perfect sense. You can take out Moltres. Moltres is the bigger threat. Arcanine's not going to be able to take out Ogerpon. This Rock Slide will take out Torn. Does nothing to Ogerpon. And they have a 4th Mon. Scizor. Well, at least I could theoretically do something to Scizor, but like Bullet Punch plus Ivy Cudgel is going to delete Arcanine so hard. 2 turns of Rain, 3 turns of Tailwind. Triple Protect, outspeed Ogerpon, flinch it with Rock Slide. That's what, 1 in 3, 1 in 9, that's 27. And then 27% of that. That's like about 1 in 100 that I can do that. And then even 2 Rock Slides might not take Ogerpon. Okay, we'll go for it. A 1% chance, give or take. And the Bullet Punches might do enough damage to Arcanine anyway that even if we get the Triple Protect and outspeed Ogerpon and get the flinch with Rock Slide, it might not be enough to matter. I think the better bet would be just to stall Rain and then try to live the hits. We have to click Flare Blitz into Scizor, which means we either have to take the recoil before we win the game. Okay, we don't get even the double protect. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have gotten the double protect. Bullet Punch does so much damage. Ivy Cudgel probably would clear us from full, honestly. Since we don't have the Intimidate down anymore. Yeah, Ivy Cudgel without the Rain. Stalling the Rain wouldn't have been enough with how much Bullet Punch was doing. Is that Choice Band Sizzle, maybe? Seems like some sort of boosting item. Anyway, good game. I missed Thunderwave. Alright. Grimmsnarl, Lando T, Fluttermane, Raging Bolt, Chi-Yu, and Okidogi. Their speed control seems to come from their own Fluttermane. They've got Landorus, but no Earthquake immunities, so I don't expect it to be a Choice Band set. I like Moltres. I would like to do Moltres-Raichu, but I don't know if I can get away with Moltres-Raichu when they have Landorus. But they have so many things Raichu is good against. So I'm going to go Moltres-Raichu. I'll just bring Urshifu. That should work fine. That'll be my Landorus answer. And Sinistra. No Arcanine? Arcanine is good into Chi-Yu Fluttermane. It can Intimidate the Landorus, but the Okidogi can take advantage of the Intimidate. We don't really do too much. If they set screens, Arcanine can't really do much. I think Urshifu is a little better here. Especially when we're bringing Raichu to stop electric moves. If they lead Chi-Yu Fluttermane, I should have brought Arcanine. But I don't know if that's what they're going to go for. That's a cool trainer card. I may not be a fan of Calyrex, but it's cool. It's a cool card. Grimmsnarl and Chi-Yu, I can live with this. Alright, the only ability that's going to activate is Chi-Yu's. If you want to go for Tera Ghost in front of a Moltres, be my guest. I'm going to Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot Fake Out Chi-Yu is probably my best bet. I mean, I could get hit by Spirit Break, but did you do that turn 1? There's Fake Out into Chi-Yu. Covert Cloak Chi-Yu. Good to know. That's really bad. And it looks like they're going for Spirit Break with Grimm. We get our +1. Raichu gets hit by Spirit Break, but we live that. Great. Alright, so I cannot paralyze the Chi-Yu. I could knock off its item, but that wouldn't get me much. Cloak Chi-Yu is funny. Yeah, because if I go for a knockoff, I'm probably going to lose Raichu. I could get Raichu out into Urshifu relatively safely here. Feral Poison, Nasty Plot, go into Urshifu. I'll take the Snarl a little bit worse, but I'll actually start gaining special attack, which is what I really need here. Being at +1 right now, about to get hit by another Snarl, isn't going to do it for me. Neutral Moltres is just not going to take down these relatively bulky mons that resist Dark. But once Urshifu's on the field, then I can maybe do something. Yep, have your fun, click your Snarl. Wouldn't be another Spirit Break into Raichu, because you would think that would go down to Snarl. Expect Spirit Break into Moltres. Which still doesn't trigger my berry, which is fine. Yeah, Chi-Yu should be sufficiently threatened. I'm going to go Air Slash. Where am I at now? +1? About to get hit down to Berserk range. Air Slash, Grim Snarl. Surging Strikes, Grim Snarl. Chi-Yu is scared enough to Tera, it looks like. Tera Water. That's an interesting Chi-Yu right there. Quick Heat Wave. Does good damage into Moltres, but activates my Berserk and Sitrus Berry. And I got 2 flinching moves going at Grim Snarl, so hopefully that doesn't get to do anything. There's a 10% flinch chance. There's a 10% flinch chance. There's a 10% flinch chance. Here's a 30% flinch chance. Oh, Grim Snarl's gone. That works. Thank you, Beads of Ruin. Yeah, what, they go into Flutter Mane now. They can threaten Urshifu with a fairy move, and then just click Heat Wave. Raging Bolt. I don't think I have any problem with clicking Fiery Wrath and going into Sinistcha. I want to heal up anyway. You have to fear the Raichu swap. You don't know the item on my Urshifu. You know I'm not Scarf at least. Raging Bolt swaps as well. I really don't mind that. Who's getting hit? Okie dokie. Should be able to take it. Sinistcha lives. Ooh, but we get burned. Is that burn going to take us out? I don't know. Big damage from Fiery Wrath. Chi-Yu almost gone. Sinistcha still alive, actually. Pretty cool. I don't want to sacrifice Raichu. Who do I want to sacrifice? Probably Sinistcha. And honestly, if they let my Sinistcha stay around, I should click Life Dew for Moltres. It's very unlikely that they would, but they might just click Heat Wave and miss it. Here's your Heat Wave. Didn't miss it. And Drain Punch as well. I guess they were thinking Heat Wave, Drain Punch would be enough and wanted to cover any swap. Okay. Or you don't have any move for Moltres, really. Yeah, so it needs to be Urshifu now. We can Aqua Jet the Chi-Yu, which they could swap out. Then we still have the Air Slash pin on Dogi. Unless Okidogi can somehow take out Moltres here, we should be able to take a KO. And Raging Bolt has to be really careful while we still have Raichu alive. The Jet, take out Chi-Yu. Okidogi probably moves next. Rain Punch into Moltres does basically nothing, and as long as we connect, we take out Okidogi. Though we don't have Beads of Ruin on the field anymore. Yep, Dogi gone. Beautiful. Raging Bolt the Gourmet is here. Speed-wise, I don't know what to expect from Raging Bolt. But I'm going to click Protect and Close Combat. I'm calling there's no way they Thunderclap when there's a Raichu in the back. Yeah. And this has a 10% flinch chance, does over half of their health. Beautiful. Dragon Pulse. We got the flinch! Let's go! Alright, now we got swap into Raichu, click Close Combat. There's nothing they can do about it. Woo! Urshifu, let's go! Good game. Chi-Yu Glamora team with Torn, Ogerpon, Urshifu, and Fluttermane. Is that usually Dark Urshifu on that team? Anyway, I really like Arcanine in this match. Do I like Raichu, is the question. They've got two Spiky Shield users. They've got a Ghost. They've got probably Tera Ghost Chi-Yu. They probably Cloak on Torn. I think it's a Flutter game. I think it's supposed to be a Flutter game. We'll see how well it works. If I'm doing Flutter... I like Arcanine for the Chi-Yu Fluttermane potential lead. I like Arcanine to intimidate Ogerpon if that's their lead. Against Glamora, everything's a little bit awkward, but I would rather take the damage, try to avoid the damage with these two than have Moltres get exploded. Urshifu doesn't feel amazing here, so I think it's Sinistra Moltres in the back. Yeah, I need to spread T-Wave, and then I need to flinch stuff. That's the goal. No trainer card. Alright, Glim Chi-Yu. Okay. We'll see speed activation between Arcanine and Chi-Yu, but that doesn't tell us much because we're not a faster mon than Chi-Yu. They could still be Scarf. Glamora is a little bit terrifying. Not gonna lie. I need to Thunder Wave somebody. And that somebody should be Glamora. And then I can click Rock Slide with relative safety. Chi-Yu could go first. But it has no speed control, so there's no way Glamora can go before the Thunder Wave Rock Slide combo. And then Moltres won't get poisoned. Sinistra doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay, we're faster than Chi-Yu. That's good. Hopefully we can stop a Meteor Beam from destroying our Arcanine turn 1. A click Heat Wave. Does a ton to Fluttermane. We double connect Rock Slide. Almost KO Chi-Yu. Yep, you get your Toxic Spikes and flinch. Perfect. Alright, so we Moonblast Chi-Yu. Not really any play other than Rock Slide the Glamora again. Moonblast will finish off the Chi-Yu. punish any swap. Yeah, she's gone. Excellent. I would like, if Glamora gets through this turn, I would like it to take out Arcanine rather than Flutter, I think. I like our speed control still being around. Flinch, yes, let's go! Let's go, Arcanine! Here's Urshifu. Dark Urshifu. Okay. I will Thunder Wave the Urshifu. Yeah, they still have Tera. They could Sucker Punch my Flutter to cover for my Tera. So yeah, I'm going to Thunder Wave Urshifu and Rock Slide. They just click Spiky Shield, okay. I'm a little worried about Sucker Punch into Flutter Mane. That's why, yeah, exactly. That's why I just didn't go for the KO there. Rock Slide into Spiky Shield. Do they go for another Sucker Punch? Choice Band isn't rare on Urshifu. I think I want to go for a Taunt into that slot and click Rock Slide again. Because their options are, if they're Choice Band, their options are click Sucker Punch. Yeah, there we go. I'm just avoiding the Sucker Punches. Urshifu, you can stay on the field as long as you want, as long as I can still Thunder Wave stuff. Rock Slide. Finally we miss. Probably Glamora. Yep. Just what they needed to get back in this game. Here's Meteor Beam. Goodbye, Arcanine. You served well. Alright, Moltres, come on in. If they are Choice Band on Urshifu, that's like super funny. I'm gonna go for Taunt into the Glamora slot and click Fiery Wrath. Because even if Glamora protects here, if Urshifu can only Sucker Punch, I'm fine with leaving it alone. Maybe I should have Thunder Waved the Urshifu slot. Because Urshifu could conceivably swap out. But then, what do you want to swap into a Fiery Wrath? I guess we're not boosted, so... it might be fine. They go for Sucker Punch. They are not protecting Glamora. They're definitely choiced into Sucker Punch. Fiery Wrath. There goes Glamora. With a crit. I don't think we needed the crit. Urshifu's just waiting until it can click Struggle. Yeah, whatever this is, we're going to click Thunder Wave and... I don't know, Nasty Plot, Protect... Their Flutter Mane. We're gonna click Tera. Their speed booster Flutter. They might be faster than ours. So I still need to click Thunder Wave into it probably. Then I need to click what? Tera Poison Nasty Plot? Since we'll be more vulnerable to Sucker Punch if we Tera Poison, I'd rather not get hit until I can actually deal some big damage. If we don't get the Thunder Wave, it's not the end of the world. We Moonblast our Moltres, that's fine. That means we get our Thunder Wave off. Wait, they didn't click Sucker Punch. They're not choiced. Uh-oh. We could blow into our Flutter Mane. Okay. Sinistra, come on in. Speed booster Flutter Mane, so it shouldn't be able to take out our Sinistra in one hit. So we should be able to Air Slash take out the Urshifu and redirect whatever the Urshifu does. Their best bet would be Detect Urshifu, Shadow Ball, Sinistra. If they know what I'm going for here. Yeah, we could still miss a bunch, so this isn't necessarily over, since Fiery Wrath can't finish off Urshifu very well. They've got Tera available. I'm not sure where that really helps, other than Fairy Flutter Mane, maybe, to resist Fiery Wrath, but if they're not clicking it now, they're not going to. Icy Wind is fine. If you're Goggles Urshifu, maybe you still wouldn't outspeed Moltres here, though. Yeah. If they had Thunder Wave Flutter, maybe could do something. Now I just attempt to set Trick Room and click Fiery Wrath until the game's over. Let's say Icy Wind. Oh yeah, they Icy Wind again. Yeah, we're gonna get Trick Room up, and then we can start para-flinching in Trick Room. First of all, this does a ton. Yeah, there's not gonna be any flinches. That's just gonna KO. I would have expected them to be Fairy Tera on this kind of team, so I'm surprised they haven't clicked that yet. But we also have a speed boosting Flutter, and ours isn't Fairy, so I mean, it's not always that way. Yeah, they didn't Tera anything. I'll just click Matcha Gotcha and Fiery Wrath. Maybe Sinistra can get a KO here. Come on, Sinistra! You can do it! No, you can't! That's fine. Moltres is the star. Moltres will get it. Boom. So many flinches in that game. Messing with that Urshifu was so funny. I can't believe they kept clicking Sucker Punch and they weren't even choiced. Maybe they were trying to lure me into a false sense of security, but good game, get a trainer card. Chien-Pao, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Dragonite, and Flutter Mane. Chien-Pao, 4 physical attackers, Flutter Mane. I'm glad we're back to that formula. That's a good old formula. Alright, as far as speed control, they've got Flutter Mane maybe as speed booster, probably Scarf, Urshifu, but we've got Flutter Mane. Oh, is it going to be Flutter Mane or is it going to be Raichu here? They've got 2 Fake Out Mons, 3 Mons faster than Raichu, no electric types. I guess it's Flutter Mane. But I really like Moltres Raichu. Ooh, it's tough. It's tough between Flutter Mane and Raichu here. I think because they have so much Fake Out, I need to go Raichu. Definitely need Sinistra to handle their Urshifu. Then the question is just whether I bring my Arcanine to intimidate their relatively intimidable team. Oh yeah, it's definitely Arcanine. Yeah, Urshifu here is okay. Doesn't like to see Dragonite or Rillaboom. And Arcanine also has a good matchup into Flutter Mane. And if we're going to spread paralysis with Raichu, hopefully, then Rock Slide will do a little bit better than anything Urshifu could do. Good trainer card. No, I guess Urshifu flinches just as much. But Flutter Pow. Booster energy is on the Flutter. but it's special attack. Oh. What punishes my Poison Tera? Nothing. So I'm gonna Poison Tera Nasty Plot. Fake out Chenpao? I feel like if they Tera Ghost, I don't lose enough for it to matter, but I also really want to Nuzzle somebody. Tera Poison Nasty Plot, swap in Arcanine is my new play. This'll cover for them going for the attacks because I get the Intimidate down. I resist Fairy on both. Once I Tera, I don't have to risk them doubling Raichu and deleting that slot. They do go for the Tera. Okay, I'm glad I swapped. The question is whether Raichu could have gotten a Paralyze off on somebody here. But I think we're in a relatively decent position. Depending on what they clicked here, I guess. If they did double Raichu, amazing, but I doubt it. I could see, like... I mean, they're special attack boosting. Would they even have Icy Wind? They just go straight for Ice Spinner. Thank you, Intimidate. Plus Gleam? Yeah. Don't even bring me down low enough to Berserk. Cool. Now I'm clicking Fiery Wrath and going to Sinistcha. Arcanine poses somewhat of a threat, but I want to get out because there's more Intimidates to be done. Moltres took that combo really well, but it could potentially go down to a double up, but with Sinistcha healing plus still having my Sitrus Fairy, there's no way without like a big crit or some tech move like Psychic Flutter Mane. Sacred Sword with, ooh, even better than I expected. And Hex. That hurt. But so will this. Alright, Fiery Wrath is in position to take a double KO here. I do what? Go into Raichu now? So I have my Fake Out turn for after these both go down. It's unlikely they double the Sinistcha slot. That would be insane. I guess they could Shadow Ball Sinistcha. No, because Chenpao's faster. I was saying they could double Sinistcha to cover for Arcanine swap. They also have Hex on their Flutter Mane. That's interesting. Pao swaps. I'm cool with that. Into Incineroar. Okay, you're trying to get into a Fake Out position? Good luck. I'm gonna get into my Fake Out position. Yeah, what do they have Hex for? Do they have Thunder Wave on their special attack boosting Flutter? If so, click it, please. Right here, right now. Protect. Fine. So I click what? Fiery Wrath and Fake Out Incin, and they lose Flutter Mane. Yeah. They already used their Tera. They could be Covert Cloak Incin. It's not very common though. Yeah, and they protected and swapped. So yeah, they were going to leave Sinistcha on the field. They got rid of their Intimidate drop on Chenpao. There's a Fake Out. Hex into Raichu just to break our Sash. Makes sense. Take your Flutter. Thank you for the Flutter. Incin, are you Berry? Are you Cloak? You're not Rocky Helmet. And you're not Cloak. And you're not Berry. Okay. Goggles, maybe? Hello, Chen Pao. Should just swap into Arcanine, right? Air Slash might be able to take Incineroar. I guess I could take out Chen Pao with Raichu potentially, so I'm gonna click that. They want to take out, yeah, they Sacred Sword to cover. Thought they might do something silly like that, so better safe than sorry. Air Slash, it is enough for Incin, perfect. Now I'm gonna come into Arcanine. If it's Urshifu, I guess that's a little awkward. Which Urshifu is it, though? Water Shifu. We still have our Sitrus Berry. It's going to be really hard for you to get the KO on Moltres. I'm clicking Fiery Wrath, and I'm going into Sinistcha. If you goof up and try to attack into Arcanine, you will be punished. Moltres will be all the way at full health, so it'll be really hard for you to take it out. And you don't even try. Lovely. Aqua Jet. Okay. Excellent. Here, have a Fiery Wrath. This might put it in extreme speed range with Sword of Ruin active. No, not quite. Alright, let's say they clicked Aqua Jet, so I don't know what item Urshifu is. I assumed it was Scarf earlier, but that play doesn't make sense if they're Scarf. So they're not Scarf. Let's say they double Moltres and somehow get the KO. They crit with Chen Pao. With Surging Strikes plus Ice Spinner. How do I win from that position? It would have to be a hit Urshifu twice. I could Rock Slide into Extreme Speed. That might be enough. So yeah, I'll click Fiery Wrath. That should win the game. But I'll also click Rock Slide with Arcanine. They seem to be locked into Aqua Jet. Okay. And you have Ice Spinner, not Icicle Crash, so you're not going to flinch me out of this game. This might not even be enough to trigger Berserk. That was nothing. Yeah, it really needed to crit. And Urshifu does hang on one more turn, but if they are Scarf Aqua Jet, that's not going to do anything. And with no Tera, there's no way they have the power to break through us while we still have our Sitrus Berries. Let's go Moltres. Well, they're not Scarf. They must be Mystic Water, otherwise I don't see how Aqua Jet would have done enough damage. But yeah, Surging Strikes isn't going to be enough because of our Sitrus Berries that we finally get to eat. And with some multi-hit moves and Sitrus Berry, the Berserk doesn't happen until the very end, so we only get the one, but still. That'll be fun. Goodbye, Urshifu. Did I even flinch anything? I guess I flinched with Fake Out once. Could have been more flinches, but Moltres still did its job. Good game to my opponent. Thank you for having a cool trainer card. Alright, we're back. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you thought that was evil. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, all that. Anyways, I'm Jordy, and alright, peace.